Without financial resources, your new venture will not be able to exploit the business opportunity, no matter how good your idea is. Entrepreneurs are always in search of promising financial support. Where to start and how to survive in the labyrinth of sources of funds. Being afraid of not getting funded is not a good start. Entrepreneurs and investors have specific requirements in each phase of the entrepreneurial process. Knowing these requirements is important to secure the future of your business idea. But remember, each phase has its rules. Imagine you're playing a goose game. Some steps will be easy. Some steps will accelerate your journey, and some steps will require extra effort from you. If you take a wrong step, you might need to go back and lose your turn. You can also go too slow. Others will catch up with you. Investors look at different requirements in each step of your entrepreneurial journey. Their red flags are relevant for your decisions if you want them to invest in your idea. Investors will look at you, your team, and at revenue trends to spot the growth potential of your idea. Take the example of Konstantinos Patinios, MSc student from Wageningen University. His Enchroma is a newborn innovative startup. Enchroma wants to replace all the synthetic colors used in human destined products with a cheap, healthy, and sustainable alternative use. Now consider Theo Anhane, the CEO from Ensure. In order to fully exploit the potential of his technology to monitor genetic activity in plants, new investors need to come on board to further scale the company. Enchroma and Ensure operate at different steps of the entrepreneurial process. They are in different phases. The first is a new startup. The second has already a market and wants to scale further. What are the financial requirements in their case? Where did they start their financial route? And who is funding or willing to fund their ideas right now? Let's look in more detail at what the investors want in these different phases of the entrepreneurial journey. At the beginning of the entrepreneurial journey, there's the idea. This is a delicate phase in which funders primarily look at the owner of the idea, you, at the market needs, and at the investment needs in the project. At this stage, grants come from public institutions, for example, the European Commission, or from the university, where ideas are often generated and stimulated. For example, Enchroma got their first money from the university. Such funds support you in getting a proof of principle and help you to proceed to the next step. A proof of principle means to demonstrate in a limited fashion that your approach will in fact work when applied in real life. Once you get it, you have to produce a sound feasibility plan, followed by a concrete business plan where you describe your product, process or technology, your team, a marketing plan, the organization of your business, the risks, and the first financial projections. When you have these elements, you enter the next step, proposition. Your idea is not just an idea anymore, it's proven and it's concrete. Funders at this stage put high relevance on the team, on the presence of customers, and of course on the amount of investment needed. Here, typically family and friends help you. Their investment in your idea plays a vital and often unrecognized part in this step. However, if you borrow from relatives or friends, it should be done with the same formality as if it were borrowed from a bank or if the investment came from a venture capitalist. It can be scary to ask for money from family or friends, but if you explain to them your vision and clearly disclose the associated risks, they will understand your reason and share the adventure with you. People put their money where the heart is. In this proposition phase, it's important that you start defining some measurable outcomes to indicate how your business is performing. Key performance indicators are the numbers used to track these quantifiable results over time, which enable you to optimize each step and the investors to see whether to invest in your business or not. This is functional to the proof of concepts, which demonstrates the feasibility of your idea. Business incubators play an important role here since they help you develop your network and get access to capital from other investors, not to mention invaluable coaching and networking connections through the staff and other entrepreneurs at the incubator. Now you're strong enough to enter the next step, the prototype. In this phase, it's your organization as a whole, its sales, and the capital needed that attract financial investors. This phase is the so-called pre-seed funding or early stage venturing. Investors want to see a plan for profit and losses and to know that your idea has a market. Here you need to produce a revenue model. When your prototype is tested, validated and demonstrated, you can finalize the development of the technology and make it fully operational. The last step of the journey is then the scale-up phase. This is also called seed funding stage or second stage venturing. In this stage, you're expected to present clear forecasts for your revenues, keep liquidity, and discuss exit and profit strategies. The costs involved are mainly production costs. These are typical questions that Theo Aanhagen from Ensure faces when dealing with his current investors. In the last two steps of the journey, prototype and scale up, you will deal with the two main sources of funds, equity and debt. The first is connected to venture capital, the second to banks. Venture capital is financing that comes from companies or individuals interested in investing in young businesses in exchange for an ownership share of them. When you enter the world of the venture capital with your startup, a new game with new rules will emerge. Usually, venture capitalists do not want to participate in the initial financing of a business. They prefer to invest in companies that are already profitable, have a competitive advantage, a proven demand for the product, or a very special and protectable idea. Venture capital investors often take a hands-on approach to their investments, requiring representation on the board of directors, but they also provide valuable guidance and business advice. However, they are looking for substantial risk-adjusted returns on their investments. If the risk is low, then the matching return could also be lower. On the other hand, banks provide most of the capital borrowed by businesses. As they do not normally have an equity investment in the business, they require any capital to be repaid and charge interest. A startup has little proven capability to generate sales, profits, and cash to pay off debts. Without adequate existing capital and good management, it provides little real loan security to a bank. What to suggest then to entrepreneurs? How to behave in the goose game? An entrepreneur should make a conscious consideration of which type of funding to attract at what stage. Funding is to be approached as a flow, not a batch process. So where to start from? Understanding your business and who your customers are is a crucial step. Go out and meet the people of your network. Family, friends, and acquaintances are the first ones to help. Seek investors that have experience in the field or area in which you work and believe in yourself and your idea.